Today is a red letter day, and I'm saying this deliberately, and you need to pay attention. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because, viewers, it's only the third time in history of India's parliament, elected parliament, that a member of the Lok Sabha might be facing an expulsion. A 500-page report indicting TMC Lok Sabha Member of Parliament Mahua Moitra, prepared by the Ethics Committee of the Lok Sabha, has recommended her expulsion. I'm underlining the term, her expulsion from Parliament. The report was adopted by a 6:4 vote, viewers. Close one. 10-member panel, 6:4. Interestingly, it was a Congress Member of Parliament who voted in support of Moitra's expulsion. This is embarrassing for the Congress and other opposition parties who have been trying to dismiss the panel's probe into Mahua Moitra's alleged wrongdoings as a vengeful exercise against a dissenter, against someone who has the courage to take on Modi, they say. The panel has been scathing in its indictment of Mahua Moitra and wants a criminal agency like perhaps the CBI to investigate a purported money trail. The word money trail has been used in the report, not my words. The panel believes that the TMC MP gave her Lok Sabha login to a businessman to pose 47 ill-informed questions just to malign the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The panel suspects that the favour to share the login was done in exchange for gifts and cash. This is what is being said, viewers. Let me run you through some of the findings of the panel and its recommendations. It is said that Mahua's actions are heinous and are criminal conduct, and they've recommended the expulsion of Mahua Moitra as a Lok Sabha Member of Parliament. Very serious, viewers. As I told you, it's only the third time that such a decision has been taken by an ethics committee. It found that Moitra had shared credentials, secret credentials, with unauthorized persons. Recommends misdemeanor, calls for severe punishment. Viewers, criminal action could be contemplated if an investigative agency, a criminal investigative agency, were to begin to put or join the dots. The panel found unethical conduct because Moitra has accepted cash, allegedly. The panel recommends a legal and institutional inquiry by the government. Now, the government obviously can't inquire, the executive wing doesn't, so it hands it over to, viewers, the CBI. Money trail, says the panel, exists between Mahua Moitra and businessman Hiranandani. The panel recommends the government should probe it as part of a quid pro quo. So she gave, according to this panel, she gave her login and she gave it for a price. That's why the word quid pro quo is being used. Well, the feisty Member of Parliament had stormed out of the Ethics Committee hearing a week or so ago, if you remember that, viewers, saying that the chief of the panel had asked her filthy questions that reeked of leeriness. Moitra has always maintained that the inquiry against her is a witch hunt. While admitting to sharing her login details with the businessman, Moitra said it wasn't a big deal, as other MPs do it very often. Though it must be noted that Moitra is yet to share proof to back her claims of other MPs sharing their login details with third parties. It's a different matter, viewers, if you share it with a member of your own staff, because those people are vetted and those people are also held to account. But a third party, viewers, she hasn't come out with proof to back her claims about MPs sharing their login details with third parties, unrelated to the MP or the professional responsibility that has been handed to that Member of Parliament. Moitra has also questioned why the panel has not summoned the businessman, Mr. Hiranandani. Moitra is convinced that the businessman has not been able to substantiate his claims with material proof. And what is the essence of that claim? That there was favour exchanged, that he got the login from Mahua Moitra to pose questions that would embarrass Mr. Modi in exchange for him giving gifts to the Member of Parliament. Before the Ethics Committee met today to adopt the report recommending action against Moitra, the TMC's de facto second-in-command and Supremo Mamata Banerjee's nephew was guarded in his defence of Moitra. Listen in to what Abhishek Banerjee had to say.
देखिए, एथिक्स कमेटी में बहुत सारे प्रिविलेज ड्यू है। आपने देखा 1-1.5 महीना पहले जब नई पार्लियामेंट की 4 दिन का सेशन बुलाया गया, वहां बीजेपी का सांसद रमेश बिदुड़ी किस तरीके से, किस अपशब्द का यूज किया और किस तरीके से वो पार्लियामेंट का गरिमा, सदन का गरिमा को ठेस पहुंचाने की कोशिश की। और बीजेपी का ऐसे बहुत सारे सांसद है जिनके खिलाफ प्रिविलेज मूव किया गया है, वो ड्यू है, उसका सुनवाई नहीं होती है। मुझे लगता है कि महुआ मोइत्रा इज कॉम्पिटेंट इनफ टू फाइट अ बैटल ऑन हर ओन।
It's very interesting. You heard Mr. Banerjee, he was talking about the selectivity of the inquiry committees, that they go after opposition leaders but they take a lenient view or sometimes don't even prosecute BJP members of parliament. Now, well, that could be true, viewers, I don't know. I'm not a member of parliament. That's a charge that has been made. But he, at the end of the day, left it to Mahua Moitra to argue her case, saying she is competent enough. So the TMC maintaining that distance, that it has done so from day one. But CNN News 18 has accessed details of the report that lays down why, apart from the obvious charge of breaching public trust, Moitra also needs to answer to the graver charge of undermining national security. Viewers, remember, documents that are not in public domain are circulated to members of parliament. Now, this committee believes that third parties that acquire them could get advanced knowledge of proposed policy changes. It's a bit like insider trading. If you know that the government is contemplating, let's say, amendments to a certain bill, and that bill is being circulated, you will know that a particular sector of the economy could be impacted in this way or that, and therefore you could leverage your information, either by investing in companies that are invested in that sector or by investing yourself. And it is known to happen, viewers, in the past. The committee also says that the system could be vulnerable to cyber attacks, crippling the functioning of Parliament of India. After all, viewers, in this day and age, when hacking has become so absolutely de rigueur, anyone could use that login to get in and then navigate their way through secret information that is usually available on the website. Fake documents to produce false narratives could be grafted onto the portal, undermining national security, spreading all sorts of misinformation. At the end of the day, viewers, parliamentarians need to vote on bills. If they don't have the right facts, the accurate facts, that might influence the way they're voting. Hiranandani's kin, says the committee, are foreign nationals. Providing him login risks leak of sensitive material to foreign agencies. Viewers, all of this has been documented by the Ethics Committee to build a case against Moitra for undermining the national security of the country. As I pointed out, Moitra has been challenging the panel right from raising questions about its jurisdiction to its commitment to equity. But as these hard facts establish, her arguments may have lacked substance. And let me run you through the hard facts, viewers. They're quite compelling, so pay attention. The charge that Moitra has often made and other opposition leaders have made is that the panel is impartial, as BJP MPs outnumber opposition MPs on this panel. What are the hard facts? In 2005, a Lok Sabha Ethics panel hearing cash for query sting operation had 5 members, 4 from the treasury benches and 1 from the opposition. The lone one from the opposition was a BJP MP, and the chief of the panel was Mr. Bansal. He was, of course, viewers, a minister in the UPA. Now, viewers, there was disproportionality there too, but no one questioned along these lines the judgment of the panel that came out and rusticated, expelled a large number of members of parliament who were found out on the sting accepting money to ask questions. Similar sort of charge that is being made against Ms. Moitra. The other charge is that the Ethics Committee is not competent authority to hear this matter. What are the hard facts? The parliamentary portal specifies that Ethics Committee will, quote, oversee the moral and ethical conduct of MPs and examine cases referred to it with reference to ethical misconduct, unquote. Not my words. You go on to the parliamentary panel and you will see. So there is jurisdiction, viewers, here. The third charge, official code of conduct for MPs doesn't exist. What are the hard facts? There is some truth to this, viewers. Parliamentarians refuse to draft a code for themselves. In September 2023, Lok Sabha response to RTI said the matter of the code of conduct is under consideration of the Committee on Ethics. But it also did say that ethics panel can formulate a code of conduct for members of parliament. So there is leeway given to the Ethics Committee to come up with some sort of a code and therefore stand in judgment of members of parliament. So this is a bit of a grey area. In the end, it appears that the business parent's decision to blow the whistle on Moitra proved to be her undoing. Here's a quick recap of what he told the panel in an affidavit. Now, viewers, he said, and I quote, Mahua Moitra was very ambitious and wanted to quickly make a name for herself at the national level. She was advised that the shortest possible route to fame is by personally attacking Shri Narendra Modi. The only problem was that Shri Modi enjoyed an impeccable reputation. She thought that the only way to attack Shri Modi is by attacking Gautam Adani and his group, as both were contemporaries and they belonged to the same state of Gujarat. She shared with me her email ID as Member of Parliament so that I could pose questions against Adani directly on her behalf when required. Over a period, my friendship with Ms. Moitra grew. I also felt that through her, I would get support in other states ruled by the opposition. Importantly, she also made frequent demands of me and kept asking me for various favours which I had to fulfill in offer to remain in close proximity with her and get her support, unquote. The development forces us to pose some big questions today, viewers. If Mahua admitted to handling her login password to a third party, is she being hypocritical by accusing the ethics panel of bias today? Panels in the past have also been dominated by Treasury bench MPs. In fact, such panels are structured in this way. So why are questions being raised now? There are several other questions we are going to ask in our debate. We're going to face off in the very beginning, viewers, between a Congress member of this ethics committee and a BJP member of this ethics committee. And then we are going to open this conversation up to our other panelists. The big question on this debate, viewers, posed, and we're going to go straight out to our guests.
Hello, Moto.
Viewers, let's open this up. Let's open this up tonight. And I want to go across to Aparijita Sarangi and Mr. Vethalingam, who's a Congress Member of Parliament. Both of them, viewers, were on this panel. We are also joined by Abhijit Iyer Mitra, who is looked at the national security implications of this very closely. And we also have with us a TMC supporter or sympathizer, not a supporter, and analyst Monojit Mondol, who has been extremely sharp coming up with his responses to questions that have been posed. So we have a very good panel tonight and we're going to have a very interesting debate. So let me first begin with you, Ms. Sarangi, and let me ask you, is this a kangaroo court that was set up to make an example of a person who has, in her own words, courageously stood up to Mr. Modi and the BJP? Straight question to you.
A very good evening. I'm very happy that you have brought up this issue, and I'm really dismayed at the idea of this being a kangaroo court. See, under Rule 233 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha, Honorable Speaker actually directs the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Privileges and Ethics to take up a particular matter. So under this rule, Honorable Speaker asks the Ethics Committee to take up the matter pertaining to Mahua Moitra. And thereafter, you are aware of the fact that there were 3 sittings, and this is a very serious matter, I underscore. The first sitting was on 26th of October when we heard the 2 defendants, Mr. Dehad Rai and Honorable MP Mr. Nishikant Dubey. They were heard at length. And thereafter, on 2nd of November, we had invited Madam Mahua Moitra to come and answer the questions of the chairman. And I tell you, the chairman asked her many questions, and I must say with all conviction at my command, I'm a member of the committee, I'm a witness to the entire conversation. The chairman confined all his questions to the content of the affidavit filed by Darshan Hiranandani. And you know, in English, we are aware of the fact there is an expression, a beautiful expression, opportunity of being heard should be given to everybody. So we gave her the opportunity of being heard on 2nd of November. She spoke at length. You know, she spoke for 1 hour about her private life, well and good. And then suddenly she lost her cool, and the entire world knows what happened thereafter. She used all kinds of unparliamentary words for the chairman and other members of the committee. And thereafter, today, 9th November, there was a draft report. We had read the report. There was voting. Today, there was voting on 26th of October, and there was voting on 2nd of November also.
Let me ask you, Ms. Sarangi, why wasn't Hiranandani asked to depose? Why wasn't he called, summoned, etc., and then questioned by all of you? And has he furnished any evidence to back his claims?
Again, a very good question. I knew you would ask this. See, I must tell you that there has been an affidavit duly signed by Hiranandani on 20th of October. Now, this is a sworn affidavit, I underscore, and this has been signed in presence of the Vice Consul of the Consulate General of India in Dubai. Right. So, once the affidavit has been given, sworn by the person concerned, duly signed before a very senior officer of the Indian Foreign Service, there is no need to cross-examine that person, number 1. Number 2, though you have not asked, I will definitely like to go forward and say, the committee had also decided to consult 3 ministries in this matter to get into the details. You know, there are technical issues also, so we wanted to get into the details of the matter. So we actually got a report from the MHA. We called for answers from Ministry of IT. We also called for answers from Ministry of External Affairs. So there were reports from these 3 ministries, and the reports were looked into. The Hiranandani affidavit was looked into, and then the 2 complainants and the defendant were heard at length, and thereafter the report had been prepared. So I don't think this particular thing has been done in hurry, and enough application of mind has been done.
The one thing that one needs to point out,
we all have discussed the matter.
Okay, the one thing that needs to be pointed out is that the scope of this committee was limited. All they wanted to know was that was a breach of parliamentary conduct of Lok Sabha rules. Did it take place because Ms. Moitra decided to hand her login to another person? That was really the remit. Am I right or am I wrong? Ms. Sarangi, very quickly, because I want to bring in Mr. Vaithilingam.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So it didn't matter if money changed hands.
Sharing of login credentials.
Yes. It was a very, and that's why the Methi ministry.
It does matter.
That's
why. It does matter.
Yeah, 1 second. It wasn't germane to your investigation if money changed hands. At this moment, you were looking only at the breach of conduct rules by handing somebody the login. The rest of the, money trail, as the report quote unquote says, will be investigated by an organization that is empowered to look into criminal matters. Right, Ms. Sarangi? Is that the sum and substance?
Yes. See. Committee on Ethics is aware of its limitations.
Right.
We are supposed to look into the fact whether a particular parliamentarian has indulged in something unethical. And here unethical conduct has been proved. We are all aware of the fact. And then, there has been contempt of the House. There has been violation of the rules of procedure and conduct of business in Lok Sabha.
Okay.
And thereafter,
so let me bring in Ms. Vaithilingam.
Recommendations to the Lok Sabha Speaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me bring in Ms. Vaithilingam. Mr. Vaithilingam, if Mahua Moitra has admitted to handing her login password to a third party. I want to ask you, is she being hypocritical by accusing the ethics panel of bias, sir?
Actually, you can see it should be answered by the member concerned, but there is no rule how to use the login ID and password in the parliament.
There is no rule.
So there is no guidelines for this.
So there is no guideline. Aparijita Sarangi, there is no guideline. I pointed that out in the hard facts, that there is no rule of conduct that has been coded. So that's the end of the matter then. There's been no breach.
I mean, this is extremely unfortunate. This is extremely unfortunate that a senior parliamentarian is actually supporting what has happened. Very unfortunate. You know, we should set everything aside. Any right-thinking person will support the recommendations of the committee today, right? Sharing of login credentials with your own staff, well and good. But sharing of your login credentials, your ID and passwords with somebody who is staying in UAE, he may be an Indian national, but he has residentiary rights in Dubai and he has friends among foreign nationals. So you know, you are
Okay,
subjecting your entire system
that point
to
was
problems
made.
in future.
Okay,
and
so you
making
compromise the entire
vulnerable.
system.
Yeah.
You put it in the hands or the
Absolutely.
care of third parties who you can't vouch for. Monojit Mondol, how would you like to respond to that?
No, I first of all, I pity these men and the woman who was in the panel. I mean, look at the way the patriarchy speaks. The only problem that Mahua has in her life is she's too bold and feisty in her attitude towards these men. That's the only problem that we've been seeing for the last 5-6 years. And I've been speaking not merely as a supporter of a political party, but as an academic. It's the only problem of the patriarchy. And this person, I think, who has been a very good, I think, administrator, I think, in her life, she has also been acting as the agent of the patriarchy. That's it. But what is the crime she has committed? And this, one of the panelists is saying that there is no rule for using such login credentials, and yet for the last 1 month you are hounding her, you're pouncing on her.
Okay.
On the other hand, you are talking about empowerment of women, reservation of women in the parliament. She has been singled out because she is a feisty woman, bold woman, and she is an educated
She's feisty and she's bold. I wish the opposition had stood up and lectured Nitish Kumar like this a couple of days back, because he also exhibited the most crude form of patriarchy.
Of course, but it has to start from the top first.
Right. I don't know, Chief Minister, what...
And you are harboring a terrorist in the parliament by the name of
let's not go down that route now.
She is charged by the court of law.
Okay, Mr. Mondol.
Harbored in the parliament.
Mr. Mondol, the India Alliance, the India Alliance, as it calls itself.
Shame on this ethics committee.
Okay, let's not go. Let's not bring in extraneous material. Pragya is not on trial. One minute.
Pragya Singh Thakur.
No, she's not on trial, and we are not going down that route. Always we get into this Hindu terror route, sir. What is your animus against Hindus? Forget all that. No, don't make this religious. We are not getting into the religion aspect of it. Please, let's keep religion and politics out.
This is not religious.
We are sticking to.
This is deeply pitiful of the men who are sitting in the ethics committee, asking personal questions.
We don't know first.
I'm a woman.
And there was only one member in the ethics committee. Only one woman
I don't see how.
When you are interrogating a woman,
there
need to be more
many people. Okay, Mr. Mondol, many people have said.
Women regarding her personal
we don't talk over each other, sir.
Who is also acting as the agent of patriarchy? That's it.
Okay. So just 1 second, viewers. Whether the panel chief spoke to her in a manner not becoming, etc. If it is true, it's unfortunate. If it isn't, it could also be regarded as an attempt at deflecting from the main issues. So let's not take everyone at face value. Let's put those issues aside. These are very clever red herrings that we are made to chase. Let's get to the central aspect here. The lady, the member of parliament, is being expelled, or the recommendation for her expulsion. And remember, this matter has to be put to vote. So the speaker will get the report. He'll call the house. There will be a vote. And after a vote, it depends if the other MPs think it's grave enough offence and vote her out, she's gone. But there's still some time. And remember, there's a Congress Member of Parliament, a lady Member of Parliament, Praneet Kaur, who has sided with the ethics panel's findings. She's also a woman, viewers. Why would she be in such a hurry to be part of some patriarchal exercise to shame a bold Member of Parliament? Ayyar Mitra, how would you like to respond to the 2 or 3 people who have spoken already?
So, thank you, Rahul. I first want to congratulate Sarangi ma'am and Praneet Kaur, who's not with us, for being agents of the patriarchy. Never in my life did I think a member of parliament would have to come on a TV debate and state that she is a woman, just to appease, accusations of being an agent of patriarchy. So I think this is an India first that we've seen, number one. Number two, I would really recommend that people go see the NIC document that is given to every member of parliament when they have to sign up for their parliamentary account. The very first line, bullet point number 1 in that document is, do not share your password and log in with anyone. Number 3, there is no, show me which part of the constitution that says you will not kill or you will not steal. It does not. It just prescribes punishments for theft and punishments for murder. But it nowhere does it say thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not steal. Now, if you don't know, you are an adult, a certified adult, probably 45-50 years of age, who does not know that their login and password is not to be shared, especially when sensitive documents. Now, apparently, I haven't seen the report, but from what I'm hearing, press reports about the report, it claims that the MHA has in fact confirmed that the Jammu Kashmir delimitation bill of 2019 was shared on that particular portal way before it was made public.
Actually, the first law that is pointed out that was shared on that portal recently was not so much the Jammu and Kashmir delimitation bill. In fact, it was the triple talaq one. Now imagine if someone knew about it in advance, Ayyar Mitra, they could have started spreading all sorts of rumors, and it would have led to a mass public agitation.
Did you call that person concerned?
Can I finish?
The person allegedly with whom? Let me speak now.
Okay, let Mr. Mandol, I'll let you speak. 1 second. Let Mr. Ayyar Mitra finish his point. I interrupted him because he wanted a clarification. I gave it to him. Yes.
Now, the problem with the ethics thing here is, understand that we haven't even begun on the criminal aspects of this. I think what Sarangi ma'am wanted to talk about was the criminal aspects of this will be left up to a criminal trial by the CBI or whoever. The problem out here is very clear, which is that the ethics violation here is a violation of the Representation of People Act. Mahua Moitra is the representative of the people. Darshan Hiranandani is not the representative of the people. He has no privilege asking these questions. Wherein lies the ethics breach? It goes, the ethics is just the mere tip of the iceberg. The language used in the report given to the speaker apparently includes heinous, criminal, etc., etc. Also, there has never been the kind of name calling and abuse in any ethics committee ever, in any kind of parliamentary committee before, which is why they have recommended new rules to deal with misbehavior in a committee. That is how bad this went. So it was all deflection. There was no addressing. But I have a very simple question to ask both Vaidilingam ji and Monojit. How do you ask a woman? What is the appropriate ethical and non-patriarchal way of asking a woman what this call at 11 o'clock at night was, who it was to, and what it was discussed? Please tell me the non-patriarchal way.
Okay, let's for the moment park that aside. Let's stick to the, as I said, let's stick to the technicalities. I think you began very well, Abhijit Ayyar Mitra, by pointing out that the NIC document itself, the first one, says do not share your passwords, and I think I am privy to that document. I just quickly brought it up on screen. The point is, viewers, that's the rule. So you violated a rule, a conduct rule. It's very clear. So to say that, oh, no rules have been framed, etc. Okay, nonetheless, let me bring in Mr. Vaidilingam, and let me just very quickly tell you, viewers, the committee said that sensitive legislations like the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment of 2021, taxation laws, the Energy Conservation Bill, the Electricity Amendment Bill, the Coastal Aquaculture Authority Bill, the Central Goods and Services Tax, Amendment Bill, the Integrated Goods and Services Tax Amendment Bill of 2023. All these bills were circulated. Now imagine, viewers, they all have...
No, but what was the harm that was done?
I'll tell you. I was coming to that point. I'll tell you. As a businessman, sir...
Let me speak now. Is he terrorist? Is he a terrorist? And he is in foreign soil, and you are accepting his affidavit without calling him.
How ridiculous!
Even if assuming that Mahua shared this her identity with a password and login identity with that person, is he a terrorist? He has.
No, I'll tell you.
Business in India.
I'll tell you, Mr. Monojit Mondol.
But you are not calling him. What kind of a mockery of justice is this?
No, 1 second. I think you're being very simplistic, sir. Mr. Mondol.
You are being simplistic.
I'm not. Let me explain then. Let me explain. Let me get Aparijita Sarangi to explain. Let me get Aparijita. Okay, if you allow the other side to speak, then only we will have a response.
You are running this narrative for the last 1 month. This is for the first time I am speaking.
No, sir, it's the third time you are speaking. You've forgotten you've already had an opportunity to speak at length.
Cross-examine the complainant.
Okay.
This is a quasi-judicial proceeding that we are
Can you allow me, sir?
This person... No.
We can get your answer if you are willing to listen to the answer. Would you like Ms. Sarangi to answer you? Just one point I want to make.
Did you allow her to cross-examine the complainant?
1 second, let me get to the point. Let's get to... You are asking all these questions. I am also posing these questions. If you allow me to, let's have the debate. You're not the moderator, sir, please.
What is the debate here? We are only having one side of the story.
I'm not giving one side. I began by asking the most fundamental question. Where is it? Okay, I'm not going down this route. One minute, sir, please. Monojit Mandal, don't disturb. That's not fair. Don't disturb.
The complainant?
Mr. Vaithalingam is sitting very peacefully. Ms. Sarangi is sitting very peacefully. Let's go to them. Let's ask these questions. No one is running away from the questions. You might be running away from the answers. So let me get the questions. Now, viewers, I just want to say one thing. He says the man is not a terrorist. Of course he's not a terrorist. But he's a businessman who has interests. And if you know that amendments are happening in certain bills, certain policies are going to be tweaked, and you are perspicacious enough with that knowledge, that insider knowledge, and you begin investing in those sectors, or you begin to invest in companies who are invested in those sectors, you have an advantage. Ms. Sarangi, would you like to respond why this is a problem when bills and other sensitive documents...
ask my
also,
question.
Viewers, remember...
Was Mahua allowed to cross-examine...
One second. Now you're changing the goalpost. One question at a time. Ms. Sarangi, respond to Mr. Mondol on the fact that this man is not a terrorist. So what's the big deal if he's looking at sensitive secret documents of the government and the policies and bills that are forthcoming? What's the big deal? Can you explain?
You are shifting the goalpost now.
I'm asking the question you began by asking.
Principle of natural justice.
How ridiculous the statements of Mr. Mondol are.
Yeah. Please, Ms. Sarangi, respond.
How ridiculous the statements of Mr. Mondol are. He is an academician, but his statements smack of immaturity and lack of understanding. You know, it is criminal for a parliamentarian to give access to somebody else, to her or his members' portal. All the bills are circulated through that portal, and you know, we cannot let others see what are there on the bills. They are all proposed amendments by the government. And after the parliamentarians discuss and debate over the bills in the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha, they are converted into acts. So we cannot share these with anybody who is outside the system. And this gentleman is not the PA or the PS or the OSD of Mahua Moitra. He is sitting far away in Dubai, and he is having access to the members portal, and he is having access to everything.
Okay.
To the ID, to the password.
So you're saying sensitive information. Remember his skin.
I think this is criminal.
His skin are also...
Absolutely. And you're making the entire system highly vulnerable.
His kin have foreign passports. We don't know what their associations are. They might be very, very decent, nice people. But who knows today, viewers? Who knows? Someone shares something with some other government. You know a bill is coming. You can start a parallel. You can start a parallel,
yes,
propaganda outside saying the bill is going to impact you this way. Remember the CA, viewers? What happened with the CA? Riots happened when the CA came through because people spread misinformation. Anyhow, let me bring in Mr. Vaithalingam. Okay, Mr. Mondol, now you're jumping in, and it's not fair. No one else has jumped in when you are speaking. Please.
You are conducting a debate. This is
I'm not
ridiculous.
pontificating,
You
sir.
have
I'm
to
only
show
bringing
us
out the
on
obvious.
paper
Okay,
that
let me
you
just
are
bring in.
not
On the point, Mr. Vethalingam, of this panel's construction, having more BJP members and less opposition members. But the fact is, sir, that these panels are structured in this way. Why are questions being raised now? In 2005, this was the case. In the past, in 1951, this was the case.
Okay, you can see he is a member of the parliament. We must protect the rights of the member. That is the basic issue of the member. So we are supporting her to make a rights of the member. And you see, it is the women member. So it should, she should not be harassed. That is the second reason.
No, but by sharing her login with a third party involved in business, hasn't Mahua Moitra exposed the Lok Sabha portal to the possibility of tampering, sir?
You are talking about the
How is it
possibilities.
possible? I don't know. I am not a technical person.
You're not a technical person. But you're a member of parliament, sir. You should know. You were sitting through those hearings. Anyhow, let me ask you. Former Prime Minister Pandit Nehru himself recommended the expulsion in 1951 of a Congress MP in a cash for query case. Same allegations. And that person, before he could be investigated or probed or a panel could be instituted, decided to quit the House. Now, has the Congress failed to uphold Nehru's ideals by supporting Mahua Moitra today, sir? Mr. Vethalingam.
Yeah, you can see in this case there is no evidence of cash transaction. Even the affidavit saying that Darshan Hiranandani is not saying any cash transaction. There is no evidence of the cash transaction.
He said, no, sir. He said, she also made frequent demands of me and kept asking me for favors, various favors which I had to fulfill. Now, it could mean getting cash, giving cash, sir, who knows? Anyhow, let me ask you, if the ethics panel outraged Moitra's dignity, this is a question that Mr. Mondol has posed, by asking her cheap questions, why would a woman opposition Congress MP have voted against her? Praneet Kaur voted against her. Why, sir? She's a Congress MP.
You see, you must ask that question to that lady. And second thing, when we asked her about it, she is under the pressure.
Under pressure. Aparichita Sarangi, it could be argued that Captain Amrinder Singh, Ms. Praneet Kaur's husband, is today with the BJP and she felt obliged. Could you respond? He's saying she's under pressure.
Yes, of course. I say with all conviction at my command that any right-thinking person would do what Madam Praneet Kaur did. There is no question of pressure. She is a senior politician, she is a mature politician, and she would not buckle down under any pressure. You know, the arrogance of Mahua Moitra, the unnecessary aggression that Mahua Moitra had displayed all through,
That is your problem.
and her refusal to answer the questions of the chairman. I think these things, this attitude cannot be accepted by anybody, including Madam Praneet Kaur. And there are two issues which I think we need to remember. Number one is sharing the login credentials with somebody who is outside India, somebody who is not part of her office. And number two is gifts and cash for query. These two are separate issues, and you know, this is also criminal offense which would definitely be looked into by an agency, decided later on by the Government of India if Honorable Speaker accepts the recommendations of the committee.
Okay, so let me ask
So
now. Let me ask the baseline question.
These are very serious charges. These are very
Serious indeed,
charges,
if proven
I don't think
serious.
we
If
should
proven
take it,
serious,
yeah,
let me
should
ask
take
some
it
baseline questions.
non-seriously.
Okay, so let me ask the most baseline question, Mr. Mondol and Mr. Abhijit Iyer Mitra. I'm bringing you into this now. First, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, because I need a response from Mr. Mondol. Now, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, should the TMC who hasn't defended Ms. Moitra in black and white terms. There have been some roundabout protestations. Should they cut their apron strings, the umbilical cord?
Look, this is a very difficult question for me to answer because I don't know what the political calculations of the TMC are. This is a very political decision for them to take. But I can't believe that in Krishnanagar, which is one of the most backward constituencies, getting shoes and bags worth lakhs and necklaces, diamond and emerald necklaces worth crores is going to go down very well. I think the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Let's wait for about 6 months and we'll see if Ms. Moitra gets a ticket.
Did you check it?
Monojit Mondol.
No. What kind of comment is this?
Have you noticed
You are wearing diamond worth 1 crore. Did you check in the price?
Aparajita Sarangi and me. Why is that?
These are the all sexist, chauvinist people who are sitting on the panel.
Why is it he can never let anybody talk? He is the worst patriarch out here because he never let Aparajita Sarangi finish her statement. And then he talks about this is the worst kind of male genocidaire fascism. This is the kind of mentality Monojit Mondol displays that needs to people. This is the worst kind of fascism on display.
Okay, let me just look, Mr. Mondol, quick response. What is your basic objection to the questions that have been raised by Mr. Iyer? I'm not understanding.
You don't understand that? I mean, what is she wearing? What is the worth of that necklace, the shoes? What is that got to do with her parliamentary credentials?
What has that got to do with it? Mr. Iyer Mitra, can you explain to him? What has it got to do with it?
And you are allowing these questions on national TV?
Investigation.
You are allowing these questions on national TV? Did you count the price?
Investigation.
Check with the bill.
I'm astounded at this.
Check with the bill.
Okay, let me tell you, viewers, because certain claims have been made by one particular jilted ex.
No, jilted. One jilted and the other is frustrated male. If that person, the businessman, was consciously using the login ID and password,
let's not make these personal. This is not very parliamentary. I'm going to take a short break, viewers. I just want to tell you, at the heart of this issue, please, and in fact, let me tell you also that the Madam Member of Parliament has come out and said, let the CBI come and count my shoes. And she in fact took 3 pairs to the Ethics Committee hearing in the past. So it's not as if she is not playing to the galleries with all her accoutrements. The point of the matter is, viewers, that it is these goodies, so to speak, that are at the heart of this story. Many people are saying, especially those that have deposed and signed affidavits, etc., have said that this is what she got in exchange for giving the login and permitting individuals to ask questions. And that, viewers, fundamentally is a breach of trust that you commit. Because as a member of parliament, you are supposed to be the voice of the people, not the voice of some independent business associates, friends, etc. So you are actually cheating, betraying the faith of the public in you. And if you've done it for some commission, then there's a problem. And that's going to be investigated, viewers. I can't sit here in judgment of anybody. I hope it's not the case, but if it is, it's serious, and perhaps the TMC will have to think twice about even continuing with her in the party.